are listening to the most original talk radio station anywhere. We are LA Talk Radio at latalkradio.com.
You're listening to the You Are the Money Self-Investment Radio Show with Wes Hall, right here on LA Talk Radio.
If you're just tuning in each and every Thursday, this is the show that poses the question, is it only the talented few who get to live a life of their dreams? Or do all of us possess a special gift inside of us that we can use to create this powerful and dynamic life? I firmly believe that God placed in each and every one of us a special gift, something that is uniquely ours, and all we have to do is really find it, discover it, and use it, and you can attract the great life that you want to live. That's just my opinion. You know, a lot of people say, well, Wes, you hear about this thing, this purpose-driven life, this gift that you have, you hear about all this, but I can't find mine. What should I do? And when you look at the economy right now, this is 2014. It's a brand new year. When you look at the economy, you've got to find that thing that is yours. The thing that makes you want to go to work every day, the thing that makes you excited. You've got to find it this year. This is your year to find your thing. And so what do? Each and every Thursday, we bring you guests who are using their special gifts and talents to attract this great life that they want to live. And a lot of times you see people, like, for instance, by the time you see a celebrity on stage or they're in a movie or whatever, you see the finished product. You don't see what it took for that person to actually groom that talent, to actually go through all of the ups and downs to make that happen. So each and every Thursday, we bring you folks right here on the airwaves who are doing it. And you get a chance to kind of tap in and eavesdrop and find out, how did he do that? How did she do that? And that's what makes the show so cool, right? Because, again, wouldn't you love to be able to stop a celebrity on the street and say, you know what? I want to do what you do, but I don't know how to do it. Can you tell me what you did? So today, I'm excited once again because I feel like my mentor, Les Brown, when he said his mom cooked so good, you had to take your shoes off so you can wiggle your toes. That's how good the food was. Our guest today is a powerful and dynamic sister. She's just doing her thing. And really, she doesn't need any introduction, but I will grab my paper here. Born in the Sudan, raised in Cleveland, Ohio, and introduced to the world via Hollywood, Kym E. Whitley is funny, talented, and driven, a quadruple threat, actress, producer, director, and stand-up comedian. After his scene-stealing run as hilarious wisecracking secretary on UPN comedy series Sparks, and you've all seen that, Whitley became a staple on television, and she's appeared in a host of shows. And along with that, in addition to her television and film appearances, she continues to perform stand-up comedy. She's doing it all, and the one we've fallen in love with, everybody across the country has fallen in love with raising Whitley, and we're going to talk with her about that. But let's take a moment and welcome her to the show. Hey, Kym, good afternoon. How you doing?
Hi, how are you? What's going on?
I am doing fantastic, sister. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. I think that was the best introduction I have received ever.
Well, but it's so heartfelt because I love you. I love what you do, along with millions of other people. And I just appreciate you taking some time and hanging out with me today.
Well, I appreciate that. I know that you had mentioned my very first sitcom, Sparks,
yes.
Which I had the pleasure of working with James Avery on.
Yes.
In fact, I just tweeted a picture of us on the set. So I just want to, put my heart and prayers out to his family for his passing yesterday. And so, that was a great beginning there.
Yeah, I mean, and absolutely, and we share in your condolences. And, we have been able to, Kym, through you, just, through your work, you have put such smiles in our face and smiles in our hearts. First of all, how was your holiday? How was your Christmas?
Oh, my Christmas, I actually had to walk outside because my son, who's almost 3, I got him a drum set for Christmas.
Oh, no.
So he's in there playing his heart out, so it's very loud. So my holiday was great. My New Year was quiet. Right. I've been so blessed. I've been working for like a year straight, if not 2 years, with very little breaks in between. So I literally just sat with myself. I sat with my son on New Year's. I just kind of relaxed.
Right.
And took it all in.
Now, are you spoiling Joshua? Is everybody sending you got him the drum set? Is everybody across the country sending him gifts, or you kind of keep him balanced on that? What do you do for Christmas for him?
Well, this is the problem. Because Joshua has a village. He's very spoiled.
Oh my God.
No, it's really bad. So we're going to donate some of his things to some other children, because the problem is the village, they don't communicate. The aunties and the daddies, they don't communicate.
Right.
So he ended up with 2 bikes, 2 pairs, this and that.
Right.
Like, none of y'all talk to each other?
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, you're gonna spoil him, Kym. He's not gonna be any good for any lady when he's gonna have it all. What? I mean, how are you gonna handle that? You got to spoil him, though, right?
But this is how you change it.
Uh-huh.
I spoil him, but I'm going to raise him to be a wonderful man. A lot of mothers. I'm not saying a lot of mothers, but a lot of we spoil our children, especially our boys. When we do their laundry, we do everything for them.
Right.
So when the man gets to me, I'm like, I'm not doing all that. You need to. So I'm going to raise Josh. He's going to be spoiled, but I'm also going to raise him to be able to take care of himself, to be kind to women,
right,
to be a loving person, all of those things that go with it.
Right. Because that's the whole thing. I mean, you got to spoil him because he's cute, he's beautiful, we love him, and at the same time, like you said, you want to teach him, how to be a responsible man when he grows up and all that. Now, in terms of New Year's resolutions, are you one of those people that each year starts off the year with something new, or you just say whatever happens, happens?
I used to do it. I used to say, you know what? I'm going to lose 10 pounds. Every January, I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to do this. That was my big thing. Right. Because weight was important to me at that point.
Right.
And, after a while, I was like, you know what?
Right.
You ain't lost the weight, so quit saying it. What you're going to do is just try to be a better person each year. So I just start the new year, like I start every day. How do I make myself a better person, a better person in society? And how do I, make other people happy? What can I do this day to put a smile on someone's face?
Wow. That's beautiful. And I think if we all just adopt that idea, because it is about serving other people, it is about making other people happy.
Oh, absolutely. Before I go on, I know listeners might have just tuned in. Please make sure, I didn't get to say, the premiere of Raising Whitley is this Saturday.
Yes.
So I want everybody to make sure they watch it at 9 o'clock on OWN. And how this happened, when you say coming from Cleveland, and people look, I never would have thought like this was the show, I mean, I never would have even thought that this show would have been so successful.
Right.
And what you're talking about is, I've been out here in the world running around, doing everybody else's show, running around,
right,
saying, how do I get this golden egg?
Right.
Well, you got the golden egg right there. You tap into the gift God has put into you. And everybody's like, oh, God just giving you a gift. I think God gives people 2 or 3 gifts. It just depends on which one you act on. And I think everyone will be successful when they follow their passion. I love doing Raising Whitley. I love, because it's me. I love being foolish. I love being insightful. And if you can get paid doing your passion,
right,
it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
And so when you look at Raising Whitley and you look at all the other things that you've done, you're right. This particular show that you're doing right now has sparked. I mean, you're going to what? Is it going to be an hour long this season?
Yes, an hour long instead of 30 minutes.
I mean, did you expect that? Is that just a part of the quirks of life, or is it from working your thing so much that you come, or is just a blessing that falls in your lap? How do you think this happened?
You know what? I really think that it's a blessing, definitely, but it's also hard work. And it's also, I believe, being a good person, being good to people. I believe everything comes back to you. Maybe not right away, but be good. Not like good, like be a good person.
Right.
Like I'm a bad boy, nothing like that. But what I'm saying is be kind to people. Follow your passion and create. What happens is people sit back. You've got to be a hard worker. God's not going to give you anything without work. And my thing is, work at it. Work at it every day. I don't care if it's 10 minutes. If it's something that you love to do, you do 10 minutes. I always say, I'm on the job building a factory. Now I might be over there, selling washing machines.
Mm-hmm.
But on my lunch break, I'm building my factory. I'm writing my book. I'm writing my script.
That's
I'm putting my resume somewhere else.
That's the okay. For every listener listening right there, that is something that you have to know, regardless to what you're doing on your day job. What is your passion, and how much time are you putting towards your passion? And you look at now as a quadruple threat, an actress, producer, director, and stand-up comedian. You take a look at all those bodies of work. That is exactly that, a lot of work.
I appreciate that. And that's what, so when people say, wow,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not an overnight success.
Mm-hmm.
I've been working at this a long time, but I have enjoyed this journey.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I have fun at it. It might not have been a big paycheck. I might have done something for free.
Mm-hmm.
But when I come home and I made people laugh and I had a good time, see, I'm building other people, but at the same time I'm building my craft. I'm building me. I mean, life is so short. If I'm not happy, why am I doing it?
Right.
Why am I on that job doing it? Yeah, I got to get a check, but while I'm getting that check, let me go look at what else is out here. Because why do you want to go into your grave and take your last breath and say, dang, I sure wish I would have could have.
See, and let me jump in there with you for a moment, because you said something very interesting too. So many people that I see talk about getting into different careers, they want to go get paid up front, like right now. But you talked about sometimes you gotta do a freebie, or you gotta volunteer for the thing you want to do. Talk about how somebody could understand that in terms of, they see this new thing they want to do, but they can't get hired for it right now. They don't have the experience. What's the value of doing a freebie or volunteering?
Oh, God. I would say the value is learning. I always tell people, like Joshua, Mommy's on the radio.
He can be on the radio too. Let us talk to Joshua. Joshua can say hello.
Yeah, Joshua, can you say hello? And can you say Happy New Year? Get off of there. No, you can't have it. I'm sorry. We're outside,
right,
and he's trying to walk on top of the jacuzzi. Didn't I just tell you? Sorry, listeners.
See, that's okay.
See, he's a boy.
You got to go on.
Said no.
Yeah, handle your business.
That's all y'all can hear. You
want me to talk to him?
You want to give it to Nunu? I'll give it to Nunu. Okay. So, where were we?
We're getting Joshua off the jacuzzi, but we're also talking about the value of volunteering or doing a freebie in terms of your career, getting you where you want to go.
What I look at is my first thing when I did Shelly Gary's Beauty Shop. This was the deal. I remember I was in Los Angeles. I heard it on the radio. It was a huge advertisement for this play. I said, I want to be a part of it. How do I become a part of this? He doesn't know me. I don't know how to get there, whatever. I found out where his office was. Called the office. They were having auditions for understudy. I said, I got to be there. I went there. I auditioned for an understudy or whatever they had. I said, I will push a broom. I will put up the curtains. And they said, oh, well, please be a part of this right there.
Right.
I was like, I work for free. Started working for free. Sat on the sidelines, watched this great man do what he was doing. And that's what people say. It's nothing. It's free. That's not free. The knowledge you're getting from the experience, you can't pay for.
Right.
You can't buy that.
That's right. But how come people don't know that? How come it sounds like, though, to the average person, if you're volunteering? I remember when I first started speaking, I would have to do freebies. But then when I did what was considered a freebie, someone in the audience would say, can you come over here and speak? And you get 2 or 3 other gigs because you did it free, so to speak. One of the things, you have young people listening now who would say, okay, about the industry and getting in. You had something inside of you that made you say you would come to L.A., you would go take on your acting career. Where did that come from in terms of, is it your mom and dad that inspired you early on, that well of greatness that makes you say, you seem fearless? Where does that come from? Oh,
gosh, it is, a lot about freedom when you're growing up. And if parents are listening to me, what my parents did was, when I say freedom, is that they allowed us to have experiences. Some things are free, some things cost, but if you don't expose your children to as much as you can, then they don't know where their journey, is going to go. They don't know what they like. we grew up in a household full of love and laughter. We performed all the time for our parents. And one thing my parents never said was, you can't, you won't. So you don't know that's where fearless comes from. You don't know that you can't. It's just someone starts telling you.
Right.
And, teachers that, especially back in the day, and I hear these guys tell these stories, I was like, really? Still people? A teacher that says, oh, you don't have a GPA, you'll never do that, or you won't be able to do that. He's over there, Joshua. He's trying to catch a squirrel. So I think that teachers and other people, you can't. There's so many people that have ruined people's lives because some people don't have it at home or don't have it somewhere, don't have friends to encourage them or aunts and uncles. So when I go to school and the teacher tells me I can't, the teacher I've been looking up to,
right,
you can crush a soul for the rest of their lives.
It's
amazing encouragement.
I got to jump in there with you, Kym, because you are, I do a lot of professional development training for teachers for Los Angeles Unified School District. And I don't think some of our elementary school teachers, and we've got a lot of great ones, don't get me wrong, but a lot of them don't really understand that child is like putty in your hands. And when they come into you, even proximity, some teachers don't understand that a child can feel you whether or not you like them or not, And so, you got to talk about, that's big what you're talking about. How do you infuse that feeling of greatness in that child?
And that's how, and I was a teacher in Compton when I first got out of here. That's how I supported myself.
Wow.
And when I was teaching these children, they might come broken to me, but I knew it wasn't the math and the ABCs and all of that. It was my nurturing, my love for them. Maybe they won't get it home, but just encouragement. And I'm from a third grade. I'm from a kindergarten. That would turn a child around. And so I learned that.
And when you take a look at that, do you think that, like right now, when you talk about raising Whitley and you talk about everything that's happening in your career and especially your stand-up, does that being able to deal with people in that way from your compassion, does that help you in your gigs?
Yeah, it does. It does. It helps you deal with, promoters, different types of people. But, and I just because even as a stand-up, there's different types of stand-up. You could be a mean stand-up, or you could be, one that just tears people down, or you could be kind of a middle stand-up, or really nice. It's hard to be a real nice stand-up. But it does help, especially when, you want to cut somebody in the audience and you just want to chill on them.
Right.
And then you think about it, if this person really said a nasty, mean thing, that's what stops me. I'm like, I can cut him so bad. And no comics will, because they're like, get him. I'm going to say, I got to look good.
Right.
I do a middle cut, because what I don't want to do is just ride a person and damage them in their life, or let them leave with something that they have to carry with them, and their wife is in the car talking about them, or their friends are cracking on them. Just,
So in other words, D.L. Hughley made a career of doing that, right? Of the audience. If D.L. just would destroy you. So you're saying you could go there, but you just don't.
No, I don't. And that's just because of the person I am and my stand-up style. And you're right. Once D.L. made it, you know who else made a career like that?
Who?
Del Torre.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Del Torre.
Just cause, I mean,
so, and that's a comedy style, but I think people can take it from a man. A woman tearing up a man in the audience.
Right.
A woman killing on a man, it's just a little harder for them to swallow. I'm sorry, you guys are just a little sensitive.
Yeah, we're a little sensitive. Yeah, that's true. Especially if I'm with my girl, and now you talking about my shirt don't match. You pointing out my hat don't look good.
Right. Talking about your receding hairline and all kind of other stuff that your girl's like, yeah, he does look a little crazy. I don't know why I'm with him. Yeah, that's the problem.
So you steer away from that, in terms of that type. Now do you think it's not because you really feel anybody in the audience is going to really get violent or anything? You're just trying to save their ego.
Oh yeah, no. I've had people get mad and say crazy things, but I could just chill on you because we have security. I'm like, security? And at the time, it has the power to have someone removed.
Right.
If you get tired of female comics, we get tired. I'm not going to spend my whole show because this is unfair to the rest of the audience. They came here to see the show. Now, like D.L. Hughley, if you're funny at it and you can do it for 20 minutes, then that's great. But I'm going to sit here and crack on you now. I'm getting mad.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
And some of the audience people are like, stop, shut up. You know.
Right.
Okay, now we're taking the show to another place.
That's true.
And it's not fair for the other people that bought tickets. So women, especially me, after I hit you a couple times, I'm security removed.
Right. And then you got to be careful because go ahead.
No, because you've probably been drinking. That's why. You
know, and you got to be careful, too. I was watching, with Steve Harvey, the whole Cat Williams thing. And sometimes you can get somebody in the audience. And that went for about 20 minutes or so. And sometimes you can go down a road that it's hard to get back from, too.
It's hard to get back from. Yeah, you're right. And it's changed the energy. I had a man come up on stage on me.
Wow.
So you just got to be, you don't know what people are in life. You just got to be careful.
And as you take a look at your career, like right now, and I do want to get to the show and talk about, Raising Whitley. Everybody wants to know, what are the friends with benefits. They want to know some things, that you hear over and over again. But before we get to that, I want to share one more thing with the listening audience. And I want to ask, how did you overcome your fear of the stage? When you talk about a gift, and we have a gift in terms of we can overcome, being in front of people. Public speaking is the number one fear known to man, right? Even more than death. How did you, was there somebody you emulated? How did you overcome your fear of the stage?
Who said I overcame it?
Oh, okay. Talk to me then, sister. I'm just, okay. I'm assuming.
I don't think you ever overcome it. I think if you overcome your fear of stage or really overcome it, well, you're not having fun anymore. I think I'm sorry. This is reality radio now.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
What's Joshua doing now?
No, that's not me. That's your somebody else.
That's who?
Okay. I don't know what that noise is.
Okay. Well, that might be. I think we have a three-way going on in terms of the line, so it's not over here.
You mute their phone, Danny. Sorry. Yeah. We can hear you.
Yeah, Danny, we can hear you. We can hear you, Danny. Whatever you're doing.
That's my publicist, Danny.
Yeah.
Making noise in the background.
Hey, Danny.
Making the cat or something. I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah, we need to. Danny need to put the mute button on. But okay. So in terms of overcoming fear, that is something. And you're right. We never. If you want to do a star performance before you go on stage, there's an internal expectation that you have of your own self, of what you want to do. And there's different rooms that you go into. There are code rooms that you have to really bring it. And then there's hot rooms that everybody's already ready. So you're right. And so you say you never overcame it. How do you deal with it then? Well,
first I pray before I go on stage. And you have to look at the room. Okay. I look at the room. You look at your audience, and adjust your comedy. I'm not going into the Caucasian audience, everybody over 65, and start talking about, things that they're not really familiar with.
Right.
And they might get it. I did a show with Caroline Ray, and I kept my same stand-up, but I tried to make sure it was, because everyone can relate to relationships. Everyone can relate to things that are general, but sometimes you adjust. You go in there with school children. You can't go in there doing crazy stuff. And what? Are you covered?
Right.
Well, that's the first thing. But before you go on stage, I say a prayer, and you just go out. And my thing is, whether you fail or whether you succeed, you're still taking the experience with you to make you better.
Right.
And after you get your first laugh or your first applause, the stage fright usually leaves.
Right. Okay. That's true.
That's the thing. It's always the first thing. It's always human beings. We're going to be accepted. Please accept me.
Right.
And what you always do is you go out, to the audience and you smile or, not in stand-up, but especially as a speaker. You're looking at the audience looking at you. And they're human too.
Right.
So people remember the audience is just as afraid as you are. It's a weird combination.
That's right.
I know out there in the audience, and you want the person on stage to succeed. If you look afraid, now the audience is nervous.
Right.
But if you act like you're confident,
Yes.
the audience relaxes.
That's true.
I don't care how afraid you are.
Yes.
You just go out and you say, hello, whatever it is. You say it strong.
Right.
And then you calm down. It's always about just going out and being confident.
Right. You know, I want to talk about that.
You know you're shaking.
You know, I want to talk about that confidence level, because as we transition the conversation, but I want to talk about that confidence level, because I always tell new speakers that the most frightening moment for a speaker is when the applause stops. You know, when they introduce you, ladies and gentlemen, you know, and hey, and then all is silent. And the next words coming out of your mouth is going to shape your experience.
Exactly. Yes. That's it. It's just the truth.
Mm-hmm. And so when you take a look at this now, as you transition your career, I want to talk about actualization real briefly, in terms of when you have a thought that you have a gift, and now all of a sudden it manifests. What was your first big role, or how did you transition to know that you were good at what you did? What was your first role that was your big break?
Wow. I would say, the first one was Shelly Gare's Beauty Shop.
Mm-hmm.
That I got to go out in front of thousands across the country.
Mm-hmm.
And I got applause. I think that would be probably the very first thing when I started getting confidence. Because I did it. The training, like I said, it was literally just training. On that road trained me for who I am today.
Mm-hmm.
So I would always say that, and then I got my first sitcom, Sparks.
Mm-hmm.
That and stand-up came later.
Mm. So stand-up came after acting.
Yes, and a lot of comics like, oh, she came into the back door of stand-up.
Mm.
I was like, it doesn't matter as long as I got in.
That's right.
Yeah, people, stand-up think I gotta live in my car and go through, war rooms and be at clubs late at night and all, every night. Yeah.
Right.
But my thing is, I like to work smarter, not harder.
Right. And that's true when you talk about material, and that's a good part to go into in terms of motivation. So they're saying, a lot of people say you got to earn your dues in terms of the motivation. Do you have enough pain to sing that song, so to speak? Do you have enough pain to do that role? And you're saying there's a lot of different ways to get there.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I understand when people say that, and we call them haters. But it's when you get there and how you get there.
Right.
It's not how you get there; it's that you get there. That's it. It's not the how; it's that I got there.
Right.
It doesn't matter if I worked every single night in the club, so now I'm even tired, or is it that somebody gave me a break? And they let me in the club, and then I did well. So what? I didn't do the years and years that you did. I think that's what people get confused.
Well, I mean, welcome to the real world. I'm glad we're having a real conversation. And if you're just tuning in, we're talking with Kym Whitley from Raising Whitley, and you've probably been watching her show. She's going into the second season. It starts this Saturday on OWN, and we're talking with her about what it took to get to where she is. And as we transition the conversation, and we do take some time and talk about Raising Whitley, what's the process when as you take and you have an idea? First of all, this is an amazing story that you don't hear very often, and you've told it 100 times. But for those that are just tuning in, as you talk about this mentee that you mentored for 15 years, all of a sudden she has a child, leaves the child at the hospital with a note that says, "This is Kym's baby," so to speak. How does that happen?
Well, you tell me how that happened. Crazy. You're mentoring. I mentored her. I've been knowing her for years. And she, I guess, trusted me to, and that's the baby right there.
That's
He's
fine.
not a baby anymore.
That's right. He's 3 years old now?
He was 3 years old. That's
okay.
right.
Okay.
Joshua, can you say hi? Okay, goodbye.
Oh. Hi, Joshua.
Okay. Joshua, he is, can you say Happy New Year? Good. Okay.
Happy New Year,
Joshua.
Joshua.
I don't even tell you what we're doing. You can't? Okay. No. Okay. It's
I mean,
He's tired.
He's tired. So is he being? Did you give him a lot of sugar?
Whether you're a mama, you were ready to be a mama or not be a mama.
Right.
Let me tell you something. This is one of the hardest jobs in the world. And I used to look at mothers and say, "Oh my God, it can't be that hard." Mm-hmm. Was I wrong? And I apologize to any mother that I thought that it was an easy job.
So what makes it okay? So what makes it so hard? I mean, when you're seeing it now firsthand, what's so hard about being a mom?
You know what it is? Mm. What's so hard is the constant need. Mm-hmm. A child is in constant need, especially a baby. They cannot live without you. Mm-hmm. They will not make it. Mm-hmm. They have to eat every 2 hours. Mm-hmm. They poop on themselves, and if the poop stays on them, you know what will happen, diaper rash, etc. Mm-hmm. They have to be burped or they'll choke. Mm-hmm. It literally is a constant every 2 hours, and if mothers don't get rest, you go crazy. Mm-hmm. It is a constant right now. I'm trying to do a radio interview. My 3-year-old is constantly, "Mommy, look, Mommy, come here. Mommy, I'm hungry. Mommy, I want to eat."
Right.
It is a constant. Please don't jump on that kind of thing. Right. Don't go in the street. So you have to keep a child alive.
Exactly.
Until they can figure it out themselves. That's pretty much why it's so hard.
Did you imagine? So you in a split second or hour amount of time, you make this life-changing decision. I'm going to go and take the responsibility of this child. What were you thinking? I mean, you could have just as easily said no.
I wasn't thinking. I wasn't thinking. I guess I could say I was. Mm. But, I always say, things happen. Mm-hmm. That was, I said this whole process, this whole thing was already ordained and planned. Mm-hmm. I just remember them calling me trying to, like, your body goes cold. I'm like, what are you talking about, a baby? Mm-hmm. Baby's not a puppy. Mm-hmm. And I remember asking him, I was like, what is the return policy? and the lady thought I was joking, and I was serious.
Right.
I'm like, ma'am,
right.
I have to understand. What if I can't do this?
Right. Can I bring the baby back?
Yeah. What if I can't do this, really? And she took a breath. She thought about it. Mm-hmm. And she said, well, if you absolutely cannot do it, of course, we'll find him another home. Which gave me a little relief because she said, but the baby's going to bond to you, and you're going to bond to the baby. And that's why we need you to make the decision right now. I was like, yeah, but you're giving me like 20 minutes, an hour.
Right.
So there was that kind of thing. And, my parents were here in town, and, my mother was like, you're 97 years old. If not now, when? When are you going to start a family?
Wow. Wow.
So that helped, and they were here to help me. So it just, you close your eyes sometimes, and you just jump.
And you jump.
You jump in, and the blessings that come from you we get in our own way sometimes.
Right.
And I had to get out of mine.
When I hear that story, though, it kind of makes me think of, Kym, we talk about volunteering for something, and we don't know how it's going to turn out, but we look up, and that's the biggest thing. Now you look at the show that has come as a result of that. Of course, you weren't thinking of a show by the time you got little Joshua. How does it all of a sudden, the village comes together, everybody's now taking care of him, we love him, he's great. What did you think about the show, or did somebody else say this is a show?
Well, the truth is, I had thought about doing a reality show just about on my crazy life. We had actually shot it and all that years before that. And then, I was like, okay, I'm going to wait a little bit before we, go out and do that. And what happens is I could say I thought of the show, but it's people talking to you. That's what you have to look at yourself. Mm-hmm. Everyone, I remember Olin Paulus, he's a basketball player. He was like, oh, my God, you with a baby? Oh, my God, that's so funny. That's not a show.
Right.
Other people walk up to me.
Right.
You with a baby? Oh, God, this is hilarious. Because they could see my struggle.
Yes.
I'm at a party. I was at the fireman's party or something. I had the baby with me.
Oh.
He was 6 months old. I was like, whatever. I had to be there. I had to host something. I had to have the baby with me. People were like, you bringing the baby to the club? I was like, yes. I have at the comedy club. I had the baby with me. People were like, oh, my God, this is not a show. So
that's crazy.
I remember he was maybe a month old.
Right.
And I was talking into my computer. I only did it one time. And I was crying. And I was like, I'm so tired. Mm. And at that moment, I was like, I need to document this some kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's, I got with my agents, and we had pitched it.
Right.
And a couple places wanted it, and I had to think about my brand and their brand, and an enlightening and empowering show. The best place to be. And who knew that it would do so well?
That's another part in another show, but I wish we had the time to talk about branding like that for young artists out there that are listening who need to understand what you just got through saying about where does your brand fit. Sometimes you can go for a deal over here, but your brand really doesn't fit there, even though the deal may be a little bit appearing wise, dollars and cents better, but does it fit your brand? And that's very important. When you take a look now in the first season, did you anticipate in your wildest dreams that it would go so well?
No, I didn't think that it would be such a great hit, and a great hit on, and I still don't believe it. I mean, I'm still, Debbie Downer. I'm like, I just can't see it. But, the way that people respond to me, the way Owen responds to me, they love the show. People love the show. I just really want people watching it. But the thing is, you can get people to watch it, but can you get them to continue watching it? Right.
Okay. What's the secret? That's the key. But obviously, you're doing that because you got a second season.
Yes. And that's the thing, getting this season and getting people to tune in and to check it out.
If you're just joining us, we're talking with actress comedian Kym Whitley, and she has the show second season of Raising Whitley, which is making its not debut, but comes on this Saturday. Kicks off a new season this Saturday, January 4th, 9 p.m. Eastern. And so, you talk about what makes people tune back into the show. People you and Rodney, that's a whole nother conversation. You and The Village, everything of all the dynamics. It's rare that a show comes together that has all these pieces that want to make us want to know what's going to happen next week. And so,
right.
You know what I mean? Because that's what we want to know. We want to know, okay, so you're dating, you're doing all these things. Are you and Rodney going to hook up? Is it going to, we want to know what's the real deal? Can you drop?
Yeah, people do.
Can
and then what's so interesting is that's why I like to call it a docu-series. It's my real life. And so I think that's why we were going to do a reality show. And even before reality came out, I would take a camera and I was like, how can I sell this? Because no one would believe my life. And everyone says, they say, you got the craziest life. I don't know if it's the energy, but the craziest things happen. Like, we don't even have it on the show because I don't know how we could show this. But I have a Russian couple that can barely speak English. They sit in my front yard. I have a bench in my front yard. I said, I think they think it's a park. They have been sitting there for they come down, like they live down the street. I finally found out where they live. But for the last 2 years.
2 years?
I actually bought 2 years. I bought them a new bench because my bench was getting weathered. I didn't want them to hurt themselves. I pull up the driveway. They're sitting there in the dark. They're sitting there. They call my dog over. They know his name. I take them water out, literally. But what I was like, there's got to be a way that we can shoot this.
Right.
Nobody will believe it.
Wait a minute. Let's get the picture here clear. This is your front yard, your bench, but they think it's just some public property that they just come and hang out in and just like it's theirs.
No, I videotaped it. They bring their grandchildren down there and play ball in the front yard. Yeah, that's my life. I'm telling you, you couldn't write this stuff. It is the craziest. And I was like, okay.
Right.
And so I learned a little bit of Russian. Privyet. I said privyet. I said to them. They said they learned Happy New Year.
Right.
So it's been a very interesting. Yeah, my house is a little crazy.
That's a beautiful thing. So you learn in Russian to talk to folks that's in your yard.
In my yard. And all my friends are like, they can't. But I look at this. What kind of society do we live in? And there are people like, get out my yard.
Right.
Why?
Right.
Why? These people are elderly. They're not hurting anything.
Right.
They are walking around the block, and they need a place to sit and rest. And it's just why would I make them get out the yard?
That, you know, something.
And my friends were like, when I asked my friends that, I said, why would I make them get out the yard?
Right.
They have because it's your yard. And
but no,
it doesn't.
The beautiful thing about that story is, I mean, I think that, you know, as we get to peek into your life like that, that's the type of compassion, even when you took Joshua, that people need to really hear. That it's not just Kym on stage sharing her life, because some of the, you know, truth is stranger than fiction. And so there's so many things about life that's just funny. But that story right there just, again, extends and shows, where does that come from? That's why I would probably say the same thing. You got people in your front yard that you don't know, and they don't even speak English. How are you dealing with that? But you look at it from, they need somewhere to sit down.
That's what I look. Yep, they need somewhere to sit down.
Oh, my God. Okay, so the whole village thing, you know, did you, in terms of calling it a village, is that from the concept it takes a village to raise a child? Why do you call it a village?
Because it does come from that concept. It comes from, you know, of course, Africa. It comes from Cleveland. I remember growing up, and my mom stayed at home, but I would be over Miss Weaver's house. I'd be over down the block at such and such house. But I ate. I was disciplined. You know, those kind of things. So my mother never worried about me. And then the concept really came from, yes, Joshua, it's food in there? Oh, good job.
Wow.
Don't touch it. Okay.
Snacks.
It came from, because the truth of it is, when I looked at myself, I looked at my life, and I know who I am, I'm very clear. I couldn't do this by myself, and I needed another parent. Well, I didn't have a husband in line. I didn't, you know, have anything going right there, so I called my friends, and I called them my superheroes. I called them my other parent. They are the person that I can bounce ideas off of. When he's sick, I call one of them, because I don't want to sit here by myself. If there's an emergency, I need somebody to get the call ready. I need somebody to get him dressed. Joshua, mommy's on the phone.
Well, that's fine. That's fine. Take some time for him. Anything you need to do, take some time for him. That's fine. I'm loving it.
Yeah, Josh. Yeah, look, now see, this is the problem right here. Look, I'm over trying to fix a toy. That's what I need a man for right here.
What kind of toy is it you try to put together?
Oh, look, if I would just read, maybe that would help me.
Yeah, the direction. You know we don't read the directions. We just improvise. It looks like it goes right there. So put it where you look like it goes.
That was it. Done. So pretty much that's it.
But you know what, Kym? When you look back in the day, we grew up in a time to where you had to be home by the time the street lights came on. If you got in trouble up and down the street, you can get whooped by every neighbor. And then when you got home, if your mama said, wait till your daddy get home, that's drama. So it was it was a village, really, literally, that raised us when we were younger.
That's it. Yeah. That's the truth. And, and that's how we live.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. As we begin to wind down, we've got a few minutes left before we wrap up. What should we expect this season that's going to make everybody come back? Are there any little tidbits you can share with us that's going to really bring us in for this year?
Okay, a tidbit. Well, it's a lot of juicy stuff going on with me and Rodney.
Talk about it.
Yeah, that's interesting. We have a couple of celebrities come on the show. There are an interesting, cliffhanger.
A cliffhanger.
And just, funny. Like one thing that's great is that we get to dive into some of the villagers' life. So here an hour, we don't have to just see my life. We get to explore their lives a little bit more and find out who they are, which makes it interesting.
Wow. So it sounds spicy. You can't give us any real details, but it sounds the cliffhanger and the other celebrities. It sounds like it's going to be a lot of spice.
If they tune in this Saturday, 9 o'clock on, they're going to love the first episode. It's funny. It's funny. That's one thing I could say is if you want to just get away and laugh, there's a big party. I can give you that. There's a big party.
Okay.
And don't you drink my coffee.
Oh.
That's coffee. Yes.
Has he tasted coffee? Has he tasted coffee before?
He just started last season. He wasn't talking.
No.
So this season he's talking, potty training.
No. I was asking. 'Cause I heard you say don't drink my coffee. Does he know what coffee is?
Yes. Is coffee an adult drink? You have to say yes. Don't shake your head. That's an adult drink, right? Yes, it is. He says yes. He knows that's an adult drink. Coffee and wine. He can't touch.
Coffee and wine. Okay. Yeah.
He says adult. Is that adult, mommy?
Is that adult? Yeah, but they always try to get into it anyway when you're not looking.
Whose drink is this? No, it's mommy's drink.
That's mommy's drink. That's right.
Yeah. So I mean, let's see, some hookups on the show, some breakups on the show. So I guess that's all I can really say. I just want people to tune in and laugh. I want people to tweet about it. They can follow me on Twitter at Kym Whitley, KYM WHITLEY, and that's because I live chat, and so does Oprah. During the show, we watch the show, and we talk to people who are watching the show.
Wow. Okay, so they can live chat. They can live chat with you through Twitter.
Yes, through Twitter during the show, and the Village. They're on the live chat also.
Wow. We're looking forward to it. And again, that's this Saturday. So mark your calendar. This Saturday, 9 p.m. Eastern. Check it out, Raising Whitley. In terms of them finding...
I believe it comes on 9 p.m. Western also. I think it's the same time, but if it comes on Eastern, you have the Eastern feed. It comes on, you can watch it at 6, but then it comes on here at 9 also.
In L.A., in California, 9. Now, when you take a look at it, give them all the places they can find you, Kym, your social media.
Okay, my social media, of course, is Kym. That's what everyone has to remember, KYM, and Whitley. And that's at Instagram. That's at Facebook. You can like my page. And then there is, of course, Twitter. And I have a website. It's KymWhittley.org. But it's pretty much a website for my son's T-shirts. I have a T-shirt line for him because he has allergies.
Right. I saw that. And what's it called? Don't Feed... What's the name of the T-shirt line?
It's called Don'tFeedMe.org. It's a T-shirt where you can place the child's name on the front, and then you can check off all the things he's allergic to or she's allergic to. Okay, go to your room. And so if he goes to a new daycare or he goes to a party, like he has on one now because it's just cute. It's a blue shirt with his name on it and checks off his allergies.
Right.
I'm going to take him over to a friend's house, and then they don't have to figure out what you can't feed them. It's on the shirt. Right.
Don'tFeedMe.org. And I saw the T-shirt. It's very ingenious in terms of the idea because, again, they could check off what allergy the child has on the T-shirt. So anywhere they go, don't feed them peanut butter, and all that stuff that could hurt them.
And then we have, and it has allergy bags to go with it, where the mothers can put Benadryl in and the EpiPen with the same thing on it.
It's been a privilege talking with you today, Kym. We really enjoy your career. We enjoy you. And just to hear more of just your compassion and who you are as a human being, we appreciate you hanging out. Any closing words you want to say to your listeners?
I just want to thank my fans and everyone that's watched Raising Whitley. And I just want to thank them for the support. That's about it. And just tell me your thoughts and, hit me up on Facebook or Twitter. And please watch Raising Whitley. And have a great new year.
The same to you. We hope that 2014 is going to be everything you wanted it to be. Good luck on your career. We'll be checking you out this Saturday. Thank you so much for hanging out, Kym.
Thank you, Wes.
All right. Happy New Year. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
You've been listening to the You Are the Money Self-Investment Radio Show. I am your host, Wes Hall, and we've been talking with the lovely and talented Kym Whitley, and her show is this Saturday, 9 p.m., Raising Whitley. And Joshua, it's great just to be natural like that on the air. Hey, don't forget, next Thursday, we're back again with another power guest and sharing you what it takes to make your dreams come true and what it takes for you to find your gift and live a life of your dreams. Until next Thursday, be safe. Happy New Year. Peace.